What's going on, E-Town? Mr. Bahi here, and today I'm going to show you how to find the arc length. Now remember, the difference between the arc length and the arc measure is that the arc length is asking how long is this actual arc, whichever arc they're asking you to find. The arc measure just means how many degrees is the arc you're looking at. Now, in our example here, since this angle is 92 degrees, it's a central angle because the vertex is on the center of the circle. Whatever measure that central angle is, that intercepted arc it makes, which is in yellow, is going to be that same measure. So the arc measure will also be 92 degrees. But to find the arc length, I want to know exactly how long this part is. So if I took a ruler and measure this piece out, I can see how long it is. Now you're probably wondering, well, why don't you just go grab a ruler and figure that out so we don't have to do any math? Well, I would, but the problem is that I'm going to say that this is a crazy circle that has a radius of 10 miles. So unless you have a ruler that can measure 10 miles or more, there's going to be a problem to do without math. So anyway, if I want to find how long this part in yellow is, so the measure of this minor arc is not the whole circle, but it goes around the whole circle. It's a part of a piece that goes around the whole circle. Pretty much all I'm trying to say is that it's a part of the distance around the circle, right? So we know that distance around the circle involves circumference, and we know this from earlier that circumference is diameter times pi, or 2 times the radius, double the radius, that's what the diameter is, times pi. So I know I'm going to involve that. I need that diameter times pi. Since my radius is 10, I know my diameter is going to be 20. So my circumference for this circle is 20 pi. But I'm not looking for that whole circumference. I'm only looking for this piece, which is 92 degrees out of the whole 360 degrees. So whatever angle you're trying to find, I'll copy that down over here. That's 92 out of 360. Sorry, whatever arc you're trying to measure, whether it's a minor arc or major arc, if you're trying to find the length of this arc, the minor arc, you take however many degrees measure, you take however many angles that is. Wow, excuse me. You're going to take however many degrees this arc is out of 360, and then multiply by the circumference. And we'll just stick with the approximate answer here, but if we take 92 out of 360 times 20 pi, and you'll get about 16.06 miles. In case you want to know the exact answer, I'm going to plug in the same exact equation in my calculator, but instead I'm not going to include that pi symbol. And I'm going to get that. Now that's a repeating decimal, so why don't we hit math and then press the enter button twice. That's going to change this answer to a fraction, and that's 46 over 9. So that will equal 46 over 9. Now I didn't include pi, so when I'm done writing my answer in exact form, I have to include that pi at the end. This is my exact answer. Now it doesn't matter whether you use your exact answer or your approximate answer, as long as you have an answer, and as long as you're following whatever the directions ask you to use. And that's how you find arc length. Now just in case, for fun, this was too easy, let's find the measure of the other arc, the one in green. Now the one in green we're gonna have to figure out how many degrees that is. Well, if the whole circle is 360 degrees, and I know this part is 92, if I subtract those two numbers, I know that the remaining arc, the major arc, arc ACB, will be 260 degrees. So the measure, let's actually write this down. The measure of arc AB was 92 degrees, but the measure of arc ACB is 268 degrees. So if you want to know how long that piece in green is, the arc length for arc ACB, we take that 268 out of 360, and since we're using the distance around the circle, we know to multiply by the circumference, which is still 20 pi for this particular circle. 20 pi miles, that is. It's a pretty large circle. I don't think I've ever seen a circle that's 20 pi miles around. Have you? Anyway, so you take this out of 360, multiply by 20 pi. I'll multiply by 20 first, and hit math, enter, enter. Change that to a fraction. That is 124 out of 9 pi. That's my exact answer because I didn't include pi when I multiplied it. And if you want that answer as an approximate answer, if you multiply it, you can tell this is my first video because I am using my document camera to hold my phone, and I got a little excited. So my approximate answer would be 46.77 miles. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And again, this is how you do one particular problem. You might see harder ones on the homework, you might see easier ones. The main thing is that what's more important is knowing how to apply the knowledge that you have. Okay? Alright guys. You know where to find me if you need me.